Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on June the 2nd, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we will start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of what we have coming up on June the 2nd, on June the 2nd here, tons of data. Wow. Okay, so in terms of the data, we have French budget, mortgage approvals here, money supply. So this is important, even though it's not marked as red. This one is important because the money supply is going to be a problem, right? So with the too much money being in circulation right now with the central bankers, basically they've been pumping money into the economy. This could have could make a difference. So we will keep an eye on this. Reserve Bank of Australia, again, central bankers speaking can move the market. So nothing really is critical. There's no red here. But this one here, this could also be, again, so any of the Fed members here, central bankers speaking, that can make a difference. It's the speech, what their comments basically. Right now, we are monitoring for not actual changes just yet, but the forward guidance that they're providing. So any sort of restricting of monetary policy or tightening of monetary policy would be positive for the currency. But all in all, not a ton of data, retail sales numbers here and trade balance numbers here for Australia. Those will be important. So lots of data, but nothing critical. Okay. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. We will start with euro dollar. Euro has a nice pin bar here for us. I do like pin bar, so bias here is bearish. So looking for a bit of a pullback here and then a drop. So in this case, potential pullback into 1.2230 level, and then looking for a drop towards 1.2170. So bias here is bearish for euro dollar, and first target here is 1.2170, and if the price continues to move lower here, second target would be 1.2130. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one as well, price tried to break out of the range and it failed. So we are still trading in this range here. So in this case, as we can see, nice bearish candle close. So looking for a bit of a pullback here and then a drop towards the bottom of the range. So target here is 1.4085. So bearish bias for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, this one is still trading in a range, not a ton of momentum to the upside, but it can go to the top of the range. So this is the range it's been trading in for quite some time now. At this point, it's reacting to the resistance level at 0.7770, but it could go all the way to the highs. So this one is neutral. Basically, either we're looking for a turn here, or this could go all the way to the top and then turn from there. So right now, neutral bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one looks bearish. As we can see, price went into the resistance here, and now we have a bit of a pin bar here as well. So bearish bias, looking for price to drop. So in this case, first target here is 0.7215. And then if it continues lower, we're looking at 0.7150. So bearish bias for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one looks neutral. It is still trading in a range, went and tested the bottom of the range and rejected it. So we have a large pin here, similar to what we saw here. So we could see price go higher, but watch out for the resistance where it is currently. But target here would be, basically we're looking for a move back towards the high of 1.2140. So right now, neutral bias for dollar CAD. All right, let's take a look at our commodities, starting off with silver. Nice pin bar here on silver. Bias is bearish. It did go up, but couldn't sustain that move. So this is looking nicely bearish here, looking for a move back towards a support level at 27.35. So bearish bias for silver. Gold here, gold also looking bearish, but with the gold here, the problem is price is right into support here. It went into support and struggled to sustain below that level. So in this case, we could see one of these, and this is why we need to be careful with this one. So neutral to bearish bias here. First target is 1890. And second target is 1882, so neutral to bearish bias here for gold. Oil here, oil going up. And that was because of the OPEC meetings here. Now, the question is, can it sustain a move above the resistance here at 67.85? So bias is neutral to bullish. And the concern is if it cannot hold above. So this is an important support resistance level. If it fails to hold above, we're likely to see a move back down. But if it sustains this move higher, so what I'm looking for here basically would be a move back, potentially towards 67.35. And then if it holds, then we're looking for a further move higher. But should it break through, then we're basically back into the same range again. So right now, neutral to slightly bullish bias here for oil. Copper here, copper is looking slightly bearish here. It has failed to go through this resistance 3 times in a row, which means we're likely to see a drop back down towards 4.55 is the first target and 4.45 is the second target here. So bias here is bearish for copper. Bitcoin here, this is looking neutral. It's trading sideways here, hasn't really done a whole lot. I'm expecting it to stay within this range. If it breaks the range though, we are basically shooting all the way down here, potentially even lower. So right now, neutral bias, I'm expecting a move between 33,800 and 39,200. So neutral bias for Bitcoin. S&P 500, we have a pin bar here. Now the support is very close, and that's a little concerning here because it's failed at this level several times. So this is strong support resistance level, immediate support resistance level. So bearish bias, first target is 4180, which is almost there. Then second target is 4145. And then we are looking for drop only if it goes through this level though, then we will look for basically a move lower. But right now, so bearish bias just with the caution because of that support. NASDAQ here, this one as well, looking slightly bearish here. The concern again is the support. It tried to go through here, but it failed to maintain. So we need to see a drop here. I mean, a break through the support for a continuation lower, and then it would have to hold. Otherwise, it could go back, and then basically it would be a fake out. So we have to watch out for that fake out. Once it goes through the support, holds below, then we can take trade to the downside here. But right now, neutral to bearish bias. Watch out for support at 13,600. But next target here is 13,400. Dow Jones here, this one is also neutral to bearish. There's a bit of bullishness in the candle still, so I'm looking for a pullback potentially into 34,700 and then a drop from there. 34,200 is the target here, so neutral to bearish bias here for Dow Jones. And then we have DAX here. DAX still neutral. It did go into the resistance here, but then it hasn't been able to go through. So I'm looking for a retest of the high at 15,680. If it fails, we are back into this range, but it's been holding here. And if it continues to hold, we could see this one shoot up higher. So I would watch out for that. But the important thing would be to keep an eye on would be, can it break through the resistance? So neutral bias here for DAX. FTSE here, this one went up as well. And the concern again, it is struggling with resistance here. So it has to go through this resistance to continue, but it does have bullishness, so neutral to bullish bias here. But if it fails to go through, we are back into this range once again. So neutral to slightly bullish bias here for FTSE as well. And Nikkei here, Nikkei though is looking bearish. As we can see, price has failed on 3 days in a row. It has failed to go through. So bearish here. And in terms of our targets, the first target is 28,500 and then 28,340. So bearish bias here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.